Womanhood is life's most beautiful journey. But it can come with many not so beautiful challenges. And some crucial challenges we fight to overcome every day. The Equal Rights Amendment, which provides the legal equality of the sexes and prohibits the discrimination on the basis of sex, was passed by the United States Senate. Unfortunately, the Equal Rights Amendment still has not been ratified today. So now there are outraged women all over the United States who fight against gender inequality.
The majority of American women in many age groups are working outside the home, but most of them are working at low-paid, relatively low-skilled jobs, often in a dead end from professional advancement, and they are not really taking part in the decision-making areas of American life in anything except token numbers.
My name is Heidi Pena-Ortiz. I'm a senior psychology major in the Lovemore Global Scholars Program. I'm also in the Emerging Scholars Program. I'm the president and founder of the Latino Student Association. I'm the vice president of Females of Culture United for Success, or FOCUS. I'm also the event coordinator and community service chair for Sigma Lambda Upsilon, Señoritas Latinas Unidas Sorority Incorporated. I also chair the Diversity Committee, the Collaboration Project, and Racial Justice Alliance.
My name is Vanessa Soto. I'm 22 years old, and right now I am living in a room in Queens. So the tampon tax is basically, thankfully not in New York. Tampons don't have a sales tax on them, but there are a lot of states where tampons and feminine hygiene products are taxed, or saying, you know, it's a necessity and women have to pay extra for something that is a necessity for, you know, all women go through it.
As a struggling college student, I don't get help from my parents. I've been working and going to school at the same time. I've had a job since I was 14, and I support myself. You know, I don't really get help from anyone else. And it is hard, you know, like you have to pay tuition and books and for food and all these other things, and then on top of that you have to pay for something that your body does naturally. And I've worked in a lot of nonprofit organizations where one of the main struggles that we see for women, especially in low-income areas, is that they can't afford to pay for their essential needs. You know, those products that you don't even think about having when you're in a setting like a Delphi. You don't think about where you're going to get your next pad, but these women, that's an actual concern for themselves, for them providing for themselves and then also their daughters.
Like having to choose between your hygiene and eating. I've come close to experiencing something like that, but it's not something that I personally haven't experienced, thank goodness, but I'm sure it's a terrible feeling. Well, when I was giving the homeless people, like the women, I would make like separate bags, you know, the women got their own bags and men got their own bags, and you know, in the women's bags, I would always put tampons and little like feminine wipes and all that stuff. I would put in enough for like 3 or 4 cycles, like for a long time, because I know that as a homeless woman, there are things that would take priority over buying tampons or buying pads. You know, they're $10 for a pack, and you go through a whole pack during a period, and then, you know, that could be a couple meals, or that could be, you know, somewhere you could stay. You know, it could be used for things that could, you know, better things.
The tampon tax is only the tip of the iceberg. Although many states have succeeded to remove the tampon tax, most states still struggle with the infamous pink tax.
Women are economically behind men just for being women, because we get so much, there's so many extra expenses attached to womanhood, and it's really unfair.
Not only the tampon tax, there is the pink tax, where a lot of women's products are just priced more expensive than men's products. For example, if you go to the store, you buy a 3-pack of women's disposable razors, those are probably around $12. Go to the men's section, they're probably $10, and it's the same exact thing, it's the same exact technology, the same, it's just pink. It does the same thing.
Because when we understand that womanhood, like manhood, and like all the other facets, because gender is not just woman and man, like all the other facets of gender, it's just being a person. When we humanize that, and when we make it so that I understand that the products that I buy are as important as the products that a man buys, or a trans man buys, or a trans woman buys, that they're just people products, and we disassociate gender from it without negating the personal identity attached to that, the proudness that you feel in being a woman or a man or a trans man or trans woman or gender fluid. When you keep the personal identity there, but you disassociate all of the systemic oppressions that are attached to that, that's when we start making progress. And it sounds super hyper complicated, but when you disassociate that the inequality, you impose equity.